Hello, I'm Karen Marie, the Salubrious RD from the LSU Ag Center. Thank you for joining me. Today we want to talk about eating great food. Why is it so important? It's so important because we need our bodies to be strong so that we can take care of other people, and we need our bodies to be strong because we want to live a long, fruitful life. So it's not really that hard. It's really common sense, but a lot of people sometimes forget about what we really need to do in order to stay healthy. The only thing we need to do is to eat a lot of healthy food and get some exercise. So today I thought what we'd do is focus a little bit about what kinds of things we need to do to eat a healthy diet. What are some of those foods that we want to make sure and include? Well, we can use the My Plate as a guide. And the My Plate is 5 different groups of foods. So the first group is the fruits and vegetables, and half of our plate needs to be fruits and vegetables. So we have our vegetables and our fruits here. So I have some beautiful red tomatoes, green broccoli, yellow peppers, orange carrots, and brown potatoes. It doesn't matter what color they are, but we want to eat a variety, and therefore a colorful plate is also a healthy plate. We also use those colors to get our nutrients. It's called phytonutrients. The fruits are also included in that, and here I have some apples and some blueberries and raspberries, some raisins, which are just dried grapes, and then also pineapple. You notice that we can eat vegetables, not only fresh vegetables, but canned vegetables, and we can also eat vegetables in the frozen food section. All are wonderful. So we want to remember to have half of our plate as fruits and vegetables. Next, let's go to the grains. The grains are this group, kind of a brownish orange, and we want to make sure we also include whole grains. So some whole grain crackers, things like granola, oatmeal, all of our different kinds of cereals, even macaroni and cheese. The macaroni is also a grain product. Other things like rice, which we don't have on the table, but we know Louisiana, we always eat a lot of rice. So we want to include lots of grains, especially whole grains. The next group we're going to talk about is the protein group, and that's our purple section. So what are some of our proteins? Well, proteins are divided into 2 groups, plant proteins and animal proteins. So what are our plant proteins? Those are our beans and also our peanuts and peanut butter. And what are our proteins? All of those that are animal proteins are all come from animals from the farm. So all of our chickens, our turkeys, our pigs, all give us different things that are all protein foods. Here I have some eggs from a chicken. I have actually chicken meat from a chicken. And then I also have some salmon here, and that comes from some of our rivers and the Gulf of Mexico and our lakes in Louisiana. So when we're talking about proteins, we want to make sure that we know what a serving of protein is. And that's why we have our deck of cards. So when we put the deck of cards in our hand, that is supposed to be about 3 ounces. So it can be 3 ounces of fish, 3 ounces of chicken, 3 ounces of pork, 3 ounces of beef, it doesn't matter. It just gives you a little bit of a reference point. So that's all of our protein foods, both animal and plant proteins. All right, next on our My Plate is our dairy section. Now dairy is in blue, and the dairy refers to all of our calcium-rich foods and also dairy foods. So anything that comes from a cow or a goat can be called dairy. And then we also have things that are non-dairy liquids, like our almond milk and soy milk. Those are also wonderful choices to use for getting our calcium up. So I have, you see our big cheese, we have our milk, and also chocolate milk can be used in that as well. I also have a little bit of yogurt here because yogurt is also a good source of calcium-rich foods. We also have some plant sources of calcium as well, and that's all of our leafy green vegetables. So our 3 Louisiana greens are collard greens, mustard greens, and turnip greens, also spinach, kale. All of those leafy green vegetables are also high in calcium and a good part of this dairy and calcium group. So as you see, the whole My Plate, half of our plate is fruits and vegetables. We need to include grains, proteins, and also our calcium and dairy. All of those will help us to give a wonderfully balanced diet and give us the strength to have fun and enjoy ourselves. We want to make sure and stay healthy, especially during these times of COVID. So make sure that you're eating from the My Plate. Thank you for joining us.